Welcome to City on a Hill Kids Church Online.
I'm Lola.
And I'm Jimmy.
Today we're going to be looking deeper into the story of Jesus' birth.
But that will be after a time of worship.
Seekers travelling, miles and miles adventuring, just to find God's new King. We know He has been born. King seekers travelling, with a Magi following, one bright star wondering, where has He been born? We visited the palace, with Herod breathing malice. The scripture men said Bethlehem was where the King would be. King seekers travelling, miles and miles adventuring, just to find God's new King. We know He has been born. King seekers travelling, with a Magi following, one bright star wondering, where has He been born? The star shone up above us, it led us straight to Jesus. With gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh we worshipped Him. King seekers travelling, miles and miles adventuring, just to find God's new King. We know He has been born. King seekers travelling, with a Magi following, one bright star wondering, where has He been born? A warning came while dreaming, beware King Herod scheming. We went back home another way, so Jesus would be saved. King seekers travelling, miles and miles adventuring, just to find God's new King. We know He has been born. King seekers travelling, with a Magi following, one bright star now we sing. Jesus has been born. Jesus has been born. Jesus has been born.
What have we looked at so far about the birth of Jesus? We've talked about the announcement of the birth of Jesus. That's when the angel came to Mary to tell her that she was going to have a child and to name him Jesus. We've looked at the fact that He was born in a stable and had a manger for a crib. And we've also spoken about the shepherds who were told about His birth on the day it happened. And they were told this by an angel. Today we are going to talk about another set of people who knew about His birth because a new star had appeared in the sky. And they knew that that new star signified that a king had been born. And these people were wise men who came from the east. And this is the story. Jesus Christ was born in Bethlehem around the time that King Herod was in charge of Judea. Now, some wise men had come from the east into Bethlehem. In those days, such a journey would have taken a long time. And as I had said previously in one of the episodes, they didn't have cars and aeroplanes and trains and things like that. You had camels and donkeys, and you had to walk. There were carriages and carts, and there would be loads of people traveling. Such a thing is called a caravan. So there were loads of people with donkeys and camels traveling from the east. And these wise men had that caravan and were traveling from the east. Now, Imagine a parade of loads and loads and loads of people walking through the center of town with camels and donkeys and carriages and carts. I mean, loads of people. I'm sure that you would want to go and see exactly what's happening. I certainly would. Well, these wise men were going through Jerusalem and they were asking, where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star appear in the east and we have come to worship him. When Herod heard this, he was troubled. You wouldn't really blame him for that. Can you imagine? You're the king of a place and then a whole bunch of people now come in and ask where the king is. And it's not you they're talking about. So of course, he was troubled. Not only was he troubled, the whole of Jerusalem was troubled. Well, King Herod called a meeting with all the scribes and the chief priests and asked them to look into the Bible, into the scriptures, to find out where this King of the Jews was to be born. And of course, they did look into the Bible and they found out that this King of the Jews was going to be born in Bethlehem. So that's prophecy right there. The Bible had predicted that the king was going to be born, the King of the Jews was going to be born, and had predicted exactly where this King of the Jews was going to be born, and it was in Bethlehem. Well, when Herod heard this, he secretly called the wise men to find out exactly when that star had appeared. And they told him. So he sent them off to Bethlehem to look for baby Jesus and told them that once they have found him, that they should send word back to him so that he too can leave where he was in Jerusalem to go and worship baby Jesus. So off they went towards Jerusalem. And while they were going, that star appeared again, and they were very happy that it had reappeared because it made their journey easier. The star stood over a house, and when they went into the house, they saw Mary and young Jesus there. And then they bowed and worshipped him. And then they presented the gifts, the presents that they had for him. And these presents were very expensive. It was gold, frankincense, and myrrh. They didn't go back to Herod again because they were warned in a dream not to. So they took another way back to their home in the east. And that's the end of the story.
Merry Christmas! Oh, it's good to see you guys on this special day. I hope you're having an amazing time. And our nativity scene is finished. A massive well done if you have made this, because it's been quite a lot of work. Or maybe you've just made some little characters to hang on your Christmas tree. Whatever you have done, well done. What a lovely way to prepare for a special day. So you can see I've finished setting this up and I've added a few little final touches. Here are our wise men of today's story, and you can see that I have given some little gifts. For this one at the front, I've given him gold. I've just cut out a piece of gold card, and because of his nice pipe peanut arms, he can hold that. And for this one coming in behind, I've given him frankincense. And what I've done for that is I just took a piece of tin foil and I moulded it into the sort of rough shape of a vase or a jar, and he's holding that. This one at the back seems to have forgotten his gift, but his camel is wearing his crown. I've got Mary here at the front, and she's lifted baby Jesus out of the manger and she's holding him with one arm because once again, she can do that with her pipe femur arms, and the other arm she's going, hey, come and see my baby. We've got the sheep We've got the donkey who seems to be eating out of the manger now. So it's all ready. And do you know what? If you've made one like this, you've got these characters, but you can add in anybody you want coming to worship the baby Jesus. If you've got toys or dolls or figures, bring them all in, because I think everybody should come to worship Jesus on Christmas Day. Well, I hope you've enjoyed doing this craft. I'm sure it's really added to your decorations at home, and I hope you have a very, very Merry Christmas. And I will see you in the new year. Bye!
This week, we've seen some very important people come to visit Jesus.
Yes, but let's step back a little bit and see how he came to be visited by these very important people.
Okay.
In this story, you can tell that these people are very important because of the amount of people that were traveling with them, to the point that King Herod and the people of Jerusalem were worried about what they were asking.
That's right. They were looking for he who was born King of the Jews. Herod must have been really, really worried. He was the king, and these people were looking for the king. And that was not him.
That's true. Another thing is, King Herod asked the chief priests and scribes to check in the Bible where this king was meant to be born. They actually searched and found an answer: in Bethlehem of Judea.
Why was King Herod being sneaky?
Sneaky? How?
Well, King Herod called the wise men secretly to find out exactly when the new star appeared, before sending them off to Bethlehem to find baby Jesus. Then he asked them to come back with the news when they had found him.
Well, to answer that question, you'd have to look further into the Bible. One thing we can say though is, when the wise men found baby Jesus, they didn't go back to Herod. They were warned in a dream not to go back to him, so they took a different way back home to the east. That's it for this week.
Till next time.
Bye!